So here we are on a lovely summer day. This is Francesca. You haven't met her before. Hi, Francesca.
Hi.
We're going to do some flash, from fill flash outside. And this is something that drives people nuts, but it's important to get it under control. I've got a single I-60A flash in the holder. We're shooting through a translucent umbrella. Why? I could use a bare flash, but I want a little bit bigger catch light to show up in her eyes. Now I can shoot some ambient stuff and it will be okay. But the difference we're going to get from adding the flash is going to be dramatic. Now, one thing I have to be really careful with, and we're playing hide and seek with the sun right now, right, as we keep moving around. You got to make sure I don't get some highlights on you, like the sun is illuminating just the tip of your nose right now. So we just had to move a little bit because Francesca was getting dappled sunlight on her face. Not good. You're never going to overcome that. So I just was looking on the ground for a shady spot and made sure that her head was hitting in the shady spot, and now the dappled sunlight's gone. Since I moved things a little bit, I'm going to have to remeter. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take an ambient reading of the light right here in front of her face just to get an ambient shot without the flash. And to do that, I'm just going to use my little Sekonic 308S here. By the way, since I'm dealing with the sun a little bit, sometimes you'll see a little dot from the sun appear on the dome of the meter. If you go with that reading, you're going to be about 2/3 of a stop underexposed. So what I like to do is take my finger and just put it over so that that little white dot disappears. That'll give you a better exposure. So I want to get it right in her face, and I can see the dot on top of the meter. So I'm going to put my finger just so it covers that bright dot, and I get my reading, and I'm at 100 ISO, 125th of a second at 5.6. So let's go ahead and get that shot. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So 5.6, 125. Okay, look right here at me. Lovely. Turn your head this way a little bit, and I'll come around. Nice, right there. Beautiful. Turn your head a little more even, that's it, good. Nice. Okay, so we got some shots, and they're very snapshotty. There's no way to say it. Why? What's going on? We got deep shadows under her eyes, we got some shadows under her nose. There's no life in her eyes. It just, because there's no light actually shining directly in them, we want to add that. So I'm going to turn the flash on. I just turned off the Air 1 controller on top of the camera. I'm going to turn the flash on, and now I'm going to take a reading to see what the flash adds. And I want it to go up probably 2/3 of a stop, which is going to give me about 30% light in this case. So let's, again, I'm going to take an ambient reading. I'm going to cover that dome so that I don't get the sun in there. Again, 125, 5.6. Now let's add the flash. So I'm going to hit mode to flash. And it goes up to 6.3, which is 1/3 of a stop from 5.6. That's about 20% flash. Let's try that. Let's see. We'll do 20% and see if it needs 30. If it needs 30, we need the flash number to go up to F7. So let's give it a try. So flash with 6.3. All right, let's see how we do here. Yeah, that's actually nice. Let's see. Chin up a little. Give me like, I know something you don't know. Yeah, there we go. Now eyes right at me. Lovely, beautiful. So what a difference. The 20% actually was pretty good. We can try 30% and see if it opens things up even a little more. So what I'll do is I'll select my flash. I'm gonna go up so it gives me one more bit of power. Actually, it's making the flash now at 1/4 power. We're shooting in full manual. So let's go ahead and do that now at up another 1/3 of a stop. We're going to actually close down. There we go. Turn your head this way. Okay. I like 20% better. At 30% now, it's starting, because the background is dark relative to her, now it's looking like I'm using lights a lot. By doing the 20%, you barely notice it. It's just putting a little catch light in the eyes, and it looks really nice. That's how easy it is. Add a flash so that it goes up one click, 1/3 of a stop. So if you're at 5.6, for example, you go up to 6.3. If you're at F8, you go to 9 when you add the flash. One other thing I want to try. Let's try it in TTL. I just switched the flash over to TTL here. I'm going to guess that it's going to add too much flash because TTL assumes this is going to be the primary light, and it really wants this whole thing to average out to middle gray. But let's give it a shot. Maybe just some compensation will work. So here's straight TTL, And turn your head this way a bit, right there. I'm going to bring the shutter speed down. I'm at 125th of a second. When you open up the shutter speed, meaning I'll bring it down to 80th or 60th of a second. What that does is it opens up the background because the flash compensation is going to be different. So let's go to, I'll just open it a little bit. Let's go to an 80th of a second and see what TTL does there. Nice. Yep, TTL is still way too strong. In fact, Francesca, could take a look through there. You can see. It's obvious there was a flash used. We don't want that obvious flash use thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the light and I'm going to turn the flash down, the compensation down on the TTL. And I'm going to come down a full stop. So I went down to -1 and let's see what that does. Okay, here we go. It's actually not, it's not terrible. I went down a full stop. What the heck, let's go down a stop and a third or a stop and a half and see what it does. Okay, here we're down a stop and a half on our TTL. Let's see if this will work for a nice fill flash. Actually, that's working well. Okay, so if you're a TTL person and you just want to have that little bit of flash contribution like we just added with the manual, I had to come down a stop and a half compensation on TTL to turn it down to make it work. It's another way of approaching it. Me, I'm a meter guy. I like to know exactly what's going on, and when I use a meter, there's no guessing. If you like TTL, again, stop and a half down, made it work just fine. Good?
Good.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.